Hey there, welcome to the sermon preview for this week. I'm glad you're taking a second to join me here today to prepare yourself for Sunday morning. This week we are jumping into or continuing on with our First Peter series called Living Hope. The idea that Jesus is our only source of hope, the only one that we should be looking towards, and we'll actually see that unfolding in our passage for this week as well. Last week we heard a great message from Tyler Hartford, who he talked about this idea of seeking peace and pursuing it within our relationships and our families. And this week we're going to continue on to the next passage, which is 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 13 through 22. And this is just it's a wonderful passage because there's this flow to the passage, this idea of there's these believers that Peter's writing to that are experiencing suffering and persecution and things like that. And he tells them instead of, when you're experiencing this persecution, instead of experiencing fear and all of these things, instead you should experience hope and relay that hope and reflect that hope. And he goes on further, and the last part of this section is the part that I want to spend a little bit of time on today and on Sunday without giving too much away here right now. But there's this focus of the victory that Jesus had in his death and his resurrection. There's a triumph that Jesus experienced in that. And so because of that, in the suffering and the persecution, should be a focus on the victory of Jesus, not the fear that comes from persecution. So I don't want to give too much away because this is it's a wonderful passage, and really want to encourage you to dig deep into this, to read this. Read it a couple times, read it in a couple different translations, and as you're reading, make observations and ask questions, and reflect on this idea of how has the victory of Jesus affected your life? How have you experienced the effects of the victory or the triumph of Jesus? How has that impacted your walk with the Lord? So it should be a wonderful Sunday. Really looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. We'll see you. Take care.